Hey, good morning. As soon as I hit go live, I thought, oh crap. I hope the is gonna be okay today. We were good yesterday, so hopefully that carries over to Friday. It's the free for all. Happy Friday! Welcome to the show. Where are we at? Episode 617. Have your coffee? That's my first sip of the day. I was actually up early this morning, and I don't like having a cup of have my first cup with you. I don't know why. I, I it's like 6:15. I've got the coffee going. It's like I'll wait till 7. The first sip of coffee tastes better when I'm talking on YouTube. It's just some weird quirk I have, I guess. We've got Victor. What's up, Victor? Dan, or wait, is that Dan? D Bell, I think that's Dan. If it's not Dan, I apologize. D Bell, what is up? Card Hobbyist, good morning. He's got his coffee going. David is with us from the East Coast. Victor says going to get some more coffee. Zach and Porter said, good morning. Whatnot ad is playing frequently now. Hey, that's better than Ron Johnson, right? Today's coffee, Dunkin'. So I've been on a Dunkin' kick, just the Dunkin' from you get at the grocery store. That's the easy, like if my wife's like, do you need coffee? Because usually when I get coffee at the grocery store, I like and it's a limited selection because I go to the Pick and Save, and I've talked about my horror stories at the Pick and Save. But I like the Door County Brewing, but I'll mix it up because they have a peanut butter crunch that I like. They also have oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name. Highlander Grog. Pulled that out of my butt. Highlander Grog is good, so I kind of mix it up, and then there's another flavor that I like. So if my wife's like, do you need coffee? I'm like, yeah, just grab Dunkin'. Or if she goes to Trader Joe's, I like Trader Joe's. So I kind of go back. I've got like 3 or 4 different coffees in my rotation. Dunkin', Trader Joe's, Door County, and then a couple different flavors from Door County. It's Donovan. My apologies. Donovan, what's up? Victor says, don't bring old stuff, but video choppy. Crap. I hate that. DR says, good morning. When is that Folger sponsor going to come in? No Folgers from me. I don't like Folgers. The best part of waking up is coffee with you all. Mix 40s, what's up? Good morning. First time catching live. Awesome. Welcome to good morning, Terry, TD Sports Cards. David says your video on bench clear with Ty was very good. Thank you. That video went live yesterday. Really enjoyed. I just love bench clear's content, and I'm not saying that because they've had me on their shows. I just love their content. I didn't know. I think Dan. I think DR turned me on to bench clear. I was like aware because I watched Hobby Palooza last year. I don't know if I watched it the first year, but I watched it last year. I was aware of bench clear, a year ago, 6 months ago. And then I think Dan posted a link to, they had Frank, the CPA on, and I'm like, this is really good. So I watched one of their On the Fly with Mike and Ty videos, and I'm like, hey, I love their chemistry. They've got great dynamic. And then I was watching some of the other content, Mike's show, Golden Age of Cardboard. I'm like, man, they have some good, really good stuff. So I just like every video that comes out, I watch their stuff. So I'm honored to be interviewed twice now. And Ty mentioned, he goes, our first interview is the highest viewed video on bench clear this year, and I'm like, holy, it's over 14,000 views. I'm like, damn. So that's I'm very humbled by that. It's pretty cool, and Ty is awesome. We could talk for hours. In fact we did the first time. We did 2 different. We did one for bench clear and one on his channel, Breaker Culture. And it's fun. We have that same nerdiness with spreadsheets and numbers. We both love numbers. So it's great chatting eBay and sales. We have the same mentality when it comes to flipping collection stuff. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. Bench Clear, latest video up, interview with Ty Wilson interview on the show. A lot. So thank you. George says, good morning. You want coffee? Shocking. No. On the standing content. Mark says, Bench Clear is awesome. Mike and Ty are great together. Totally agree. Ed, what is up? Good morning and happy Friday to you. Card Hobbyist says it's a good mix of collecting and flipping discussion with Mike the Collector and Ty the Business Guy. Ty the Business Guy. I like that. That's a great point. I think that's part of the chemistry that really works for those two guys. Is Mike's like the pure collector and Ty's more on the business side of the flipping. And I think that's why when Ty and I talk, we have that same type of mentality. We're both collectors, but we, look at it from a business standpoint, probably a little more so than a collecting standpoint. TD says, I look forward to waking up, getting some coffee, listening to Bo and talking to chat, and then starting putting sold orders and list more cards. Thank you. No, thank you. That's a great start to the day for me. I've got some orders to ship out. I listed over 400 cards yesterday. So I'll just go into, so I bought the dime boxes. So I bought 2 dime boxes outright, just in bulk from a dime box dealer at the card show in Janesville, Wisconsin this past Sunday. And it was the reason I went through and I was picking out, it was the very end of the show. So I was just kind of, kind of what you do when you're a dealer. There's still people in the room, so you don't want to really pack up. You want to make that extra buck or $5 or maybe one more sale. So I was kind of far side of me, so I could just, turn my head and look at my table if anybody's over there. So I started looking through the dime boxes, and there wasn't much that, I felt I could make an easy flip. I just didn't see it from a 10 cent or 8 cent standpoint. But if I could get them for a penny, I'm all in. So I pulled out. He had 12 for 10, 12 for $1. So I pulled out, a dozen cards that I, a few Cubs, for my own collection, and then like 6, 7 that I could, flip on eBay for $2. Or $1.50. So small, very, very small margins. So I said, I've got 12, so here's $1. And asked, do you sell these dime boxes by the box? And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, you can fill the 4-row up for $50. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think I'm going to buy 2. So I looked around, and I didn't even, and I'm going to show off what a happy surprise. I picked out some boxes that I had gone through a little bit and liked some of the contents. And then I, just grabbed random piles from other boxes, and I found like a 78 top stack. I'm like, hey, 78 tops. I'll, for a penny a piece. Heck yeah. So I get home and I go through like just one row of the 4-row box. And he had a lot of these he has by player. So there's like a stack of like 50 to 100 of yesterday, Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Justin Verlander. I must have been at the end of the alphabet. But there was a stack of Anthony Rizzo. So this is probably 75, maybe 100 Anthony Rizzo cards, all Anthony Rizzo. So I paid a penny a piece for these. Of course, they go into my personal Cubs collect. But then that, and I'm picking out, that's what I was listing on eBay yesterday, over 400 from the dime boxes. And, I'd pull some Cubs here and there. And of course that stack of Anthony Rizzo. So that was a fun little happy surprise that I found in the dime boxes. What's up, John? That 70s Card Show is with us. Good morning to you. Dan says, hypothetically, if the National was accessible in Chicago for you this year, given the market as it sits today, what would be on your target list? Oh, that's an excellent question. Now, the National is coming up in a couple weeks. It's in Atlantic City. I decided to cancel my trip. So I'm not going to the National. I did a video on it a few weeks ago because the basic the all-in price for me to walk in the door was going to be $1,500 to $1,700. 1,500 just for the travel and random expenses, admission, hotels, and all that, and then probably an additional 200 to 300 for food, beverages, snacks, stuff, just random stuff. So 15 to 1,800 bucks was going to be my price. There's also an opportunity cost to that where I would have to put my eBay store in vacation mode. I'm going to have limited sales, so I'm losing income from having my store on vacation mode on top of spending $1,800. And, what do? I buy dime boxes and bulk boxes, and I can't carry those, put those in the overhead compartment. I'm limited to the cards that I bring home. So those were three of the big reasons why I decided I'm just going to cancel this trip. Yes, I would love to go and meet my hobby friends and meet people that I haven't met. I know through social media, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, but I've never met. Would love to do that, but it's not, it's cost prohibitive with it being in Atlantic City. I'm only a 2-hour drive. It's like smack dab at 2 hours from my driveway to Rosemont at the Donald Stevens Convention Center, where the National is in Chicago. So when the National comes back to Chicago next year, I'm totally there. If it was there this year, I would be there. If Dan is asking if the National was in Chicago, which if it were in Chicago this year, end of the month, I would be there for probably 6 days. I would probably, go down a day early on Tuesday. Given the way the market sits today, what would be on your target list? I would be looking at bulk. I would be, especially on Sunday, I would be the first day. My strategy would be my first, when doors open on Wednesday afternoon for the VIPs, I would be making a beeline singles club and I would be searching those dollar boxes. So that's what I would do. After I felt like I had a good three or 4 hours in, if I have time remaining on Wednesday night, I would go to Jennings, which is a local card shop here about an hour away in Freeport, Illinois. They've got great 50-cent boxes. I would go there. That would be my second stop, if not Wednesday night, first thing Thursday morning. So those would be my first two targets. Like, I don't even care what the rest of the floor looks like. I'm hitting those bargain boxes. From that point on, after I search through the Jennings bargain boxes, now I'm walking the show floor. Where else could there be? By this point, they're going to be pretty picked over. Although the singles club, by the way, does restock every day, with the exclusion of Sunday. I think they usually pack up Saturday afternoon. They have their remaining inventory to Burbank, and then they're back to South Dakota. Is it South? I think it's South Dakota. So that would be my strategy, beeline to singles club. Then I'm at Jennings. And then from there, it's just kind of, it's a little different. My strategy would be a little different this year because number one, I'm full time now. Last year at the National, it was still a side hustle. That's the funny thing. 1 year ago today, July 8th, 2021, starting my own business, selling cards full time, not even a consideration. Now, did the thoughts go through my mind, especially as I'm scaling up my eBay sales last year? Oh, for sure. But were the wheels in motion to actually make it happen? No way. I think the National, when I went to the Golden Auctions VIP dinner, one of the nights at the National, and I was surrounded I didn't feel comfortable in that room with all the, I was next to Buster Shear, and we're just talking. I had no idea who he was. And he's just like casually dropping like, yeah, I'm a George Washington auto. And I'm like, oh, where do you live? And he's like, well, I live in New York, but I think I'm going to like live in a different city every month. Like, I think I'm going to go to Austin for a month and then San Diego. And I'm like, this kid's like 21 years old. What in the hell? And then it's like, oh, he's an Instagram millionaire. He started, some hoop. I'm like, damn. What's his name? Is it Damian Rodrigo? the Messi collector was right across. So with me, Buster, Damian Rodrigo, and the wrestling guy was sitting across from me. Not a wrestler, a wrestling collector. And like it was just the group of us talking. It's like, man, these guys make it happen. And that's what really like I want to do this full time. And I think that's when the wheels really started to turn. Like I want to sell cards full time, start my own business. So that was a sidebar, but that's what my strategy would be. So I was talking about last year at the National where, it was side hustle. And so I went, still my number one was Singles Club and Jennings. That's what I hit 1 and 2 last year. From that point, that's when I started looking for PC stuff for Cubs. I was looking for pre-war. I was looking for the Cap Anson, Allen, and Ginter. I only saw 2 copies. One was higher grade than I want, so which means it was out of my price range. The other one was low grade, but actually it was lower grade than I want and a higher price than I was willing to pay. Because there had been some recent comps where the back was basically missing. It was like, a lot of paper loss on the back. I'm still kicking myself. I had an opportunity to really nice looking SGC 1 last March or April. And I'm going to end up paying probably 2 to 2.5 times what that offer was. And that number's only going to rise because I'm not going to drop that kind of money now on a card like that. So it was a little different last year because I was searching for, some pickups. I had a budget for my Cubs cards and I had a budget for what I flip. So that's how like this year I wouldn't be looking for any pre-war Cubs. I would not have any budget for Cubs cards outside of what I buy in bulk. If I'm looking through a dollar box, that's not saying if I find a great deal on something, I wouldn't drop $100 on a tobacco card. But for the most part, it would be strictly inventory. Jason Ellis, what is up? Good morning to you. Low Roller said you sold more Michael Jordan cards on eBay. Do you ever sell NFL digital cards on eBay? Do they offer you giving you 10 free digital cards? No, I don't. By the way, I did not. So I went after my show the other day when you talked about the reporting cards, the NFL reporter cards, because there was like a stack that I threw away. I went into the trash bin and there was like other stuff. I wasn't digging through my garbage to pull those out. So they ended up on the curb. So they're in a real somewhere or wherever they take it. Barry R, what's up? Good morning to you. Herman is in the chat. What's up, Herman? National will be interesting with bargain box hype this year. I think, yeah, that's a great point because bargain boxes are getting more and more hype as collectors are kind of pivoting away from slabs and high-end stuff. A lot of my dealers are reporting like my bargain boxes are going crazy. So yeah, I think so we had a great discussion and it might've been on Hobby Hotline this week when we were talking about the National. John can remind me because he was there with me. And it might've been with Ty. It might've been Ty and I's conversation. But I think with the National, as far as what we're looking, the National isn't the National if you're not there. Like to me, like I'm not going, so I'm not excited for the National because the excitement is being there. It's not like we touched on like the news aspect on Hobby Hotline, like breaking news and all that. But that's not, like in today's internet age, like it's just not something where news breaks. Now, could there be some news that comes out of it? Oh, absolutely. And there will be. But it's not like we're saving all of our big news and our hype for products and just other things for the National. So it's not like I can't wait for the National to hear what the next big news story is going to be in the hobby. The excitement lies around being there, digging through those bargain boxes, trying to find that holy grail card, meeting your friends, all of that stuff. So for me, like, it's just during that national week, it's just going to be more content for me to consume. I guess I am looking forward to that. Like, as I list cards here at home and ship cards down here in the dungeon, you guys are off in Atlantic City having a lot of fun at the card show. I'm going to consume your content. So I'm looking forward to having more content to consume, but the experience lies in being there. There's absolutely nothing that can compare if you're not there. So I don't know where I was going with that thought. It was John mentioned the bargain box hype. I can't remember what my point. There was a point, but I ended up going off on a tangent. Low Roller says, "Are you going to live stream and card show when you're going to take a trip this month? I want to see you looking for the dime box." That's because I've thought about often. I've thought about setting up like a tripod and just doing it as I'm digging through a bargain box. So I may do that at some point. I don't know when. See, I probably won't be. I don't know when my next card show, like as I'm walking the floor, will be. But I have often thought about that. Usually it's either I don't have my tripod to put my phone on. Well, up until a few months ago, I couldn't go live on YouTube. You can go live. So I've only been able to go live for what, 3 months, 4 months. But also I don't bring my tripod. Sometimes you're really confined because bargain boxes are pretty popular, and sometimes it's just kind of hard to look through the bargain boxes and have enough space yourself, and then trying to find where can I put this camera without obstructing somebody else's arms, pile of cards, other boxes, etc. But that's definitely something I've considered doing and I would like to do. So we'll see. Shaw Cards, what's up? Happy Friday to you. Barry R says, it's going to be my first national. What to bring with me or to walk around in my backpack? ? And I'm sure a lot of people have answered already. My take on that, I do bring a backpack. I think backpacks are essential, especially for if you're, and I don't know what your intention is buying wise, but for me as a bulk buyer, especially in digging through bargain boxes, a backpack's essential because I'm not going to pick up 1 or 2 cards or 4 or 5 cards. I'm buying boxes. I'm filling boxes and buying a backpack's full of cards. So I am a backpacker when it comes to card shows, larger card shows. Now, if it's a small hotel show, I don't bring a backpack, but if it's a larger show, definitely. The National, absolutely. Bring a backpack, not just for cards, but just for stuff. Bring a phone charger, portable phone charger if you have one. Let's see, what else? Water. Absolutely bring water. Bring some snacks because I've never been to the Atlantic City National, but I do know in Chicago you can buy food and drink, but it's going to be outrageously priced. And I'm sure that's the same at any event, whether it's in Chicago, Atlantic City, or wherever. So bring water, bring a couple or a few bottles of water, especially if you have a backpack with those water holders on the side. That's key. So water and snacks. Let's see what else. A portable phone charger is key. Bring an extra box, like a storage box, depending on how many cards you plan to buy. Not a lot of tables dealers, if they have bargain boxes, will offer up a storage box. And sometimes they're like, they chop the top of the box off. So, I like to have 1 or 2 storage boxes with me, penny sleeves, top loaders, maybe like a pack of each just in case. Let's see what else. What do I bring in? I always bring in like and I just throw it in like the front pouch, like a Post-it note and a pen, just in case, like down something. Am I missing, guys? Am I missing anything? John says, bring your stroller and portable oxygen tanks. Victor hates strollers. So does Ken. Where's Ken? Low Roller says, people buy NFL digital cards on eBay. Zach and Porter says, random fact of the day. Where did I go? Okay, random fact of the day. Rogers Hornsby's number is retired by the Cardinals. However, it is the logo on their wall that represents him. No numbers when he played. Why, you ask? Interesting. Does Zach answer it? Zach and Porter says, according to our tour guide at the time, putting numbers on the back made the players look like prisoners, so they didn't wear them. Interesting. That is a fact I did not know. Friday fact of the day, courtesy Zach and Porter. I love it. Jenny says, good morning all. Putting together some sweet racks for a bunch. Time for a massive cardboard downsize and break from the Twitterverse. What a time to be a female in the hobby. There was some weird stuff going on yesterday. There's an account that may be real, but it looks really suspect. And so there was of toxicity regarding that. And I was following a little bit of it. And then it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to read any more of this stuff. National is 3 hours from my house. Not sure if I'm going. There you go. And Mark, that's not a sentiment that's fairly, I mean, here in Madison, and I've talked about this last year when the hobby was booming last July, I had my Madison card show. It's going to be the same time frame as it was last year, the Saturday before the National, like the Saturday right before the National. And the National last year was just out 2 hours, probably from the hotel, an hour and 50 minutes from venue to venue. And I bet I talked to 80 to 85%, maybe even 90% of the people I talked to, both dealers and customers, like, yeah, I may go for a day, but probably not. Like, that was the sentiment among, we'll just say 80%, 8 out of 10 people are like, nah, I'm not going. And so I think that's going to be even more of the same in Atlantic City. Yes, there's a ton of people around Atlantic City in that area within a 3-hour drive. But are they going to go to the National? It'll be interesting to see. And Ty and I talked about that. He asked in the Bench Clear Media interview, if you haven't watched it, check it out, Bench Clear Media. But I was a little more I thought he would be more optimistic than I was, and he is not optimistic at all about the National. And I think I overcompensate my not emotions, but my thoughts on the National Atlantic City, because I am biased. I don't like the location in Atlantic City, because for me, and this is selfish reasons, it's a pain in the ass to get to Atlantic City. And it's expensive. Chicago's 2 hours, driveway to venue, 2 hours, driveway to parking garage, 2 hours flat. And I love Chicago. Duh. But so I am a little biased. So I try to, and I don't want to convey the fact that I'm just crapping on this year's National because I'm not going and it's in Atlantic City. Because I do see, and I saw this a lot last year, there was a lot of negativity toward the National from people not going. And I think a lot of that was out of like FOMO, jealousy, and I don't want to convey that. So I try to be a little more optimistic about what the National is going to be like. And so that's what I said on the interview, and I'll just spoil it a little bit. There's always going to be, and I might have said this on Hobby Hotline, I can't remember, because the reason I can't remember is because Ty and I rec 4 on Tuesday, and then Hobby Hotline was at 8. So, and we had similar, topics when it came to the National. So I don't want to convey the fact that Bo thinks the National is going to suck because he's not going and he's jealous. That's not what I think. It's going to be far less buzz than last year, because there's far less buzz in the hobby, and there are a lot less people going to Atlantic City than have normally gone or will go to Chicago, just because of the travel, in the location. So but I say, if you're there on the floor, it's going to be, if you're there, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a great time. There's going to be buzz in the room. It's going to be awesome. But is it going to be as awesome as last year or 2019? 2019 was booming. Like, I'm like, holy crap, Bobby is in a really good place. And that was pre-pandemic. The National in 2019, especially if you had gone to previous, was popping. And then, of course, we didn't have one in 2020. So 2021, the homing, and we missed a year ago. It's been 2 years since it. So there was a ton of it. There's going to be excitement in the room. So I want to be cautiously optimistic. But it's not going to be this crazy, wall-to-wall people crazy time. Zach and Porter says, according to our tour guide, we just read that, talking about Brothers Horn, you should list 5 NFL reporter cards for 50 for each eBay store. I can't, because they are somewhere in a landfill, because I did not dig them out of my trash bin. Let's see. Zach and Porter says, Jenny, sorry for your feeling that way. Our video thanking you for our mail this week drops at 9 a.m. Central. Zach and Porter, check out their channel here on YouTube. Low Roller says, I saw people buying digital cards for NFL, MLB for $8. Zach and Porter says, check out the Dollar Box channel on YouTube. Great hobbyist, and he does that style of video. Absolutely. Dollar Box, we were actually both set up at the Green Bay Card Show in May. Got to meet him. In fact, we got to dig through a Dollar Box side by side. It was really cool. We should have done a video. Now in hindsight, it's like, damn, we should have done a video. Low Roller says, do you ever take advantage of opening free digital cards in each pack? I do not. John says, my digital loves my digital cards. I've talked about I've read more about digital cards this morning than I ever thought I would. Zach Porter says, how do you make friends being a power strip and then let others charge with you? Let's see. George says, just Control Alt Delete. Mark says, snacks and food are outrageous. I go to the East Coast National every year and I bring some protein bars and water. Most definitely. Yeah, absolutely. That account interactions were something else, talking about the, it's definitely suspect, but there were some interactions where it's like, okay, let's just ignore it. If you're going to, be like that, just save the tweet, save those thoughts to yourself. Let's see. Terry says, how has everyone's eBay sales been this week? I've been super busy. Let's see. Let's take a look. I had a crazy, I think it was Wednesday. Wednesday was off the hook. I had a great Wednesday. Yesterday was slow. Although I'm adding more, I'm selling more, that's the goal. Low sales day in comparison. Let's see. It was the lowest sales day since, oh wow, longer than I thought, since Saturday, June 18th. But that was coming off a Wednesday that was probably my biggest sales day in 2 months. So my sales for 31 days are up 9.1%. That's over the last 30 days. My views are up 31%. So, they're going in the right direction. Let's see. John says, go on for Dad for point of view. I wonder because I can never get my camera angles, especially when I'm sorting. When I do those videos, it takes me forever to get a good point of view. So maybe I do get a GoPro and do that. I've been shipping 20 plus orders a day and haven't listed a card in a week. That's awesome. DR says, I was thinking yesterday how there hasn't really been innovation in the top loader space in decades. And then I thought it would be cool if you could order top loaders with your favorite team's logo. that has been done. In fact, I think that was done 30 years ago. Um, and I don't know where you can buy it, but if you Google, I have seen them, and I've acquired some like in bulk buys and collections I've bought. I've had like Cincinnati Res, the little logo. Um, I don't know if they're underground like black market top loaders because they're not licensed. But I do know at one time they were licensed, and I think probably back in the 90s. So that has been done. And basically what it is, it's like a label. It's basically, I don't know if it's printed directly on. I think they might be black market top loaders, because it's basically printed onto a label and affixed to the top loader. But I think back in the day, they did have them like printed straight to the top loader. Zach and Porter says Frank GoPros while cutting his lawn so he can watch it later for some mood setting with the wife. Pepino Man, what is up? A lot of people really are crapping on the National. Yeah, and I don't know, Pepino, I don't know why that. I think part of it is the FOMO. Like, I don't like Atlantic City. I don't like the location. So it's gonna suck. And I think there's a lot of that. So that's why I'm trying to be like in the middle, because I don't want people to perceive me as being this jealous grouch because I'm not going to the National. I think if you're there, it's gonna be awesome. Regardless of attendance being down or not. So but I do think it's not going to be as good as last year. And maybe there is a little bias because I love Chicago and I want Chicago to be like the default national location. I will go on the record and say that. Let's see. Larry Buss, what is up? Travel right now is difficult. Yeah, definitely. Now, gas prices are on the way down. They're getting close to, and who would have thought, a year ago or whenever, wow, gas prices are going to be under $4 soon. They're getting close to $4. Barrels of oil are under 100. And gas prices, I know here locally, have dropped 3 straight weeks. I'm not sure. I haven't. I need to get gas, today before I make my trip into Illinois, where it's 50 cents higher a gallon. But yeah, gas prices are coming down. So people making that trip, if they're driving out to Atlantic City, fortunately, the gas prices are dropping at the right time for them. Zach and Porter says, new sub to your channel, like your passion and your content. Pepino Man is the man. Love Pepino Man stuff. George says, I ain't got that FOMO anymore. Buying cards is taking a backseat to life. Jenny says, thanks. I agree. George, cards are becoming an afterthought to me right now. Let's see. Mix 40 says, Bowman U Hobby is on sale at Dave and Adams. Just picked up 2 today. Gonna rip one and save one for the start of the season. Oh, I'm gonna go check that out. What are they at? Because I can get, let's see. And it's still loading. That awesome Wi-Fi. Let's see. Low roll coin. We've got a Bitcoin update. Bitcoin is back over 21.5. So it's on the rebound. Bearded Bookworm Bo, can you run through images onto Image Shack? I know you have a scanner, but can you upload in bulk? Yeah. Have I done a video? In fact, I think I'm going to do a video today. I talked about it yesterday morning. I was really hammering down on getting my listings up, but I may do a video. So basically, I scanned them in. So from the scanner, I'll take you through how I do the scanner. So I scan them in, and I do 28 at a time. The reason I do 28 at a time is because that's how many images are on one page on Image Shack. So then I can go into the links and I can bulk copy and paste, and they go in order. And then I can just copy and paste that into my file exchange spreadsheet. So from the scanner, they scan it. They are uploaded into a folder on my desktop. And then from that point, I copy and paste all 28 images. I drag them over to Image Shack and do 28 at a time. Now, unfortunately, you can't bulk do this on your phone. So you have to be on a computer to do bulk uploading to Image Shack. Otherwise, if you're on your phone, you have to do it one at a time, which in the rear. So if you're doing it from your phone, do one at a time, and it does take considerably longer to do it. John says, I've been going to AC my whole life, loved and worked there. I'm not thrilled for it as a host site either. That's an interesting perspective coming from John. Let's see. George says, for sure, I enjoy having my collection, but at the same time, I'm content not adding to it for a while. I'm content. I'm not content. I'm not content. I am content not adding to it for a while. I've seen my salary essentially be cut in half the last year due to inflation. Oh, shit. That's not good. Jenny says, what amazed me was that people said the account is a scam because the profile photo was too attractive. That's a female's fault. So you can only be in the hobby if you're not attractive. I'm sure some people said that, but I think the main reason, there were a lot of red flags. And I do think it's a scam account. And because it's an attractive female in the profile photo. But the bio says she's 33. But in one of the recent tweets, she says she's 28. Under comps, there's a history. I think that account was created in 2016, yet all of the content prior to the last couple days was deleted. A lot of the flags that. So, and here's the thing: when it comes to trading online, buying online, you have to be careful with who you're dealing with. There are red flags. There are red flags that you need to look out for. And this account, real or fake, is exhibiting some of the famous markers of a scammer. And it's not related whatsoever to gender. It's a lot of the markers that are famous for scamming activity. With that said, yes, there are some people that were talking about the gender and all that stuff, and that's not wrong. I do think it's a scam account based on a lot of the markers. There's a lightness going on. So that's my thought. The account is, what is it? Hobby Luck. For those that are wondering, what in the hell are you talking about? Jen's Hobby Luck is the name of the account. So that was kind of the weird stuff that was going on yesterday on Twitter. Let's see. John says, live, never loved. Although I just remembered I proposed to my wife there. There you go. George says, haven't seen any of it on Twitter, Jenny, and very glad I haven't. Sometimes people just suck. Card Cutter, what is up? The last time it was in AC, I remember everyone saying it was going to be trash. The show came and everyone there said they had a blast. I'm guessing this year will be the same. Oh, absolutely. Like, if you're there, it's not going to suck. Like, it's going to be awesome if you're there. I think a lot of the people that say it's going to suck are the people that are not going. But if you're there, and I think I mentioned this on the interview with Ty, it doesn't matter where the National is. You can take the venue of the National and place it in Boise, Idaho, and it's going to be an awesome time. Drop it in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Awesome. Des Moines, Iowa. All things being equal, within the venue, location doesn't matter. Now, don't drop it in East LA or what's a bad neighborhood. What was the Cheech and Chong movie? But it's going to be an awesome time within the walls of the actual venue. Let's see. Andrew, what is up? Good morning to you. Bearded Bookworm says, thanks for the 28 image tip. I got my file exchange sheet ready to go. Used my phone to test one listing and hated the one at a time uploading. Definitely. And I thought before I went full time, it's like, hey, this is easy because I can upload, if you're sitting there with nothing else, if you've got your listings and upload, and it's like, okay, crap, now what am I gonna do? But I would list from a stoplight. It's a red light, and it's like, oh, I've got some photos I need to upload to Image Shack, and I would just do it from a stoplight. But then when I started selling full time and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm uploading one at a time, it took me 30 minutes to realize I'm buying that Fujitsu scanner. I mean, literally 30 minutes of doing one at a time photo uploading to Image Shack. Okay, I'm gonna save so much time doing this, and I in not like in a day, but like if you're gonna put 10 items up today, 5 tomorrow, 20 the next day, there's no need for it. But if you want to get hundreds of listings up in a fast amount of time, spend that $500 because it's gonna reward you tenfold in the long run. Let's see, and by the way, so Andrew's in here. Andrew A. He's the one with the tip on the 28 images. So that's where the tip goes to Andrew. He's the one that helped me out on that. He's like, hey, by the way, there's 28 images per page, and kind of reverse engineer, because what I was doing was I was typing out everything in File Exchange, and then I would go in and copy and paste one by one. And it's like, man, there's got to be a way to bulk copy paste the links. And so Andrew's like, yeah, do 28 the order, and then you've got your cards, so you know the 28 cards that are in order list, and then copy paste all 28 links in one shot. And it takes me now and Andrew, I don't know if you're still there, if you are in Walmart right now, but I just got a message. I was reading Card Hobbyist, and my buddy Ryan just messaged me, and so I lost my train of thought. What's up, Cooter? Already hit the like button, and he's late. What's up? Thank you very much. Like if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you saw the video, if you're just watching after seeing the video with Ty from Bench Clear Media, thank you. Welcome. This is what I do every morning. I just talk about cards and random stuff. Sometimes it's concerts, movies, TV, gardening. I haven't even shared my gardening story yet. So where was I with the 28 images? I can't remember. I got off on a tangent, and I completely forgot where I was going. So let's see. Card Hobbyist says, do Chrome cards okay through the Fujitsu? So this is an interesting point with the Fujitsu feed scanner. Bowman Chrome scan well through the feed scanner. Panini products don't even attempt, because it's awful, because it doesn't scan them, and it stretches the image out, like on all Panini, Prism, Mosaic, any of the shiny stuff. But Bowman Chrome, I've had success with Bowman Chrome, Topps Chrome, whatever chromium stock is used by Topps is much better than Panini in terms of scanning it. So I've had success with Chrome on Topps' side. Bearded Bookworm says, I have a flash drive with a lightning plug so I can transfer photos from my phone to the drive, then upload from that onto my computer. There you go. That'll work. So I'll try to do a video. Somebody did suggest recently. We are talking, and it has come up recently as well. I'll hammer that. I'm going to do some shipping this morning, and then I do want to get a couple hundred items. I'm trying to hit 15,000 active listings today. I think I hit 14,850 last night, made some sales. I think I'm down to 14,820. So if I can get 200, I'll get past that 15,000 active listings mark. So that's what I did yesterday. The gardening. So I was tending to the garden. We got a ton of rain, which was much needed, because I was running sprinklers for about 2 weeks. So we got some rain. We got a lot of rain, and I got some blight on my tomatoes. So I went and I was looking more into blight, and should I just let it go, or should I just cut those branches off? And I guess from what I read, don't believe everything you read on the internet, but it sounded legit that it will spread if you leave it on the plant that blight will spread and take down your tomato plant. So I got my scissors out and trimmed, and man, my tomatoes look much skinnier, but they do look pretty healthy outside of what I trimmed off with the blight. Hopefully, I don't, get inundated with it. I have had blight on my tomatoes almost probably every year. So I'm going to have to find ways to prevent that. My cucumber plants, holy moly. I was hesitant this year with wanted to up my gardening game this year, because I use Circle Grow, and I'll sprinkle in some like fertilizer that I get at like Menards or Home Depot. Uh, but when I went to the nursery, he was like giving me the owner of the nursery was like, okay, use this, and this. And it's like, it's expensive, but holy cow, it makes a huge difference. So I started with a base, some type of base for gardens. He also suggested, and typically I have put a sheet down, like that black stuff at the bottom to prevent like grass and weeds from growing up into the garden. And that's a bad thing because you want those roots to expand out. And if they're just confined into that box, they're going to spread. It's really going to limit the growth of the plants. But if they can really penetrate. So I took that, I ripped all that out and kind of tilled the regular earth below my garden, and then I put that base down, and then I used it's like a mulch soil that some type of concoction, and then there's a Purple Cow Organics soil that you put over the top, and then kind of mix that into the soil, and then you tomato tone every 2 weeks. My cucumbers, man, like the stalks, like usually they're like little skinny cucumber stalks, but man, they're nice and thick. It was a great town, but the city attraction itself isn't the draw, it's the convenience of everything. Absolutely. And that's the thing about Chicago is, yeah, you can go downtown and you can, go to the lake and all that stuff, but it's a haul. It's kind of a haul to get down there. It's the hotels and the restaurants right next to it, and within driving distance. It's not city. I stay in a suburb about 15 minutes outside of Rosemont, further away from the city. And it's a nice little drive. You just take River Road basically all the way out 15 minutes. It's awesome. Because I can stop at Dunkin', have a coffee and a couple breakfast burger. If I go to McDonald's, there's a McDonald's and a Dunkin' right next door they're just down the street from the hotel. So, I'll mix up. One day I'll go to McDonald's, have a couple breakfast burritos and a McDonald's coffee, even though I don't like McDonald's coffee, but I love their breakfast burritos. Next day I'll do Dunkin'. I'll get I was getting my power breakfast sandwich. That's no longer. So I'll get the whatever sausage sandwich with my Dunkin' coffee. Nice little drive, crank the music. It's usually beautiful summer morning at 8:30, and on we go. So I missed that. I am gonna miss the National, but it'll be back next year. Mark says, I'm so old I attended the 1984 National in Parsippany, New Jersey. Took the bus, I was 16, and in 1988. So was 88, was that like the boom of Atlantic City? Wasn't Atlantic City, like I remember as a kid around 1988, Atlantic City being this like huge attraction, like Atlantic City. And then I think it kind of went away. The National has come a long way since those shows. Bearded Bookworm says cardboard is a good alternative to weed cloth. It breaks down so the roots can get through, but stops the grass. Oh, interesting. I work every other Saturday. I looked up at the local card show and it doesn't fall on a day off until October. I looked up my local card show and it doesn't fall on a day off. Oh, that sucks. Let's see. Card Hobbyist says McDonald's used to have burritos that had potatoes and jalapenos. That one was better than what they call a breakfast burrito now. I don't know if I ever had those. Probably did. Well, it depends on when it was. What else did I have going on today? So I don't know if I'm going to make a retail run today or not. Probably. I don't know. There's nothing I'm really interested in. So I don't think I'll make a retail run. I do plan, and I'm trying to get a hold of Baseball Card Exchange, another call. Because the plan is to my friend Scott has a unopened 1975 Topps mini box that we want to get authenticated and wrapped at Baseball Card Exchange. So the plan, if we can get that done, is to drive down to Baseball Card Exchange tomorrow and do that. Maybe go through some of his stuff. I'd love to do to show off like his I shared a picture of I think I shared a picture of his room, of his like storage area. And like you open it's just a random cardboard box, like a brown box. And there's like a stack of 1969 Topps PSA 7 Pete Rose and second year Nolan Ryan and like, holy crap. And then the next box has newspapers. And then the next box has more vintage PSA high grade. You got to get on that Taco Bell. I don't know if I've ever had Taco Bell breakfast. I've always been, before I moved to Madison, it was because McDonald's was about they did have Taco Bell, but I always went to McDonald's or Hardee's. Man, Hardee's had some good breakfast. Now I'm a Dunkin' guy. Miss that Dunkin' Power sandwich. The avocado toast is a waste of time. I've never had the avocado toast. I love avocado toast when I make it at home, but I'm not paying $5 for avocado toast, at a restaurant or anywhere. But I do enjoy avocado toast, but I enjoy my own and not the upcharge you have at restaurants. I get so I used to get with my Power Breakfast sandwich. I would get the like hash browns, but it's a waste of money. It's like $1.50 for like 6 little hash brown rounds. So I stopped getting those because it's like, this is a waste of calories. Not that I count my calories by any means, but I'm just gonna get the sandwich and I'll be good. Nothing better than a good old gas station biscuit. Heck yeah, that's what Herman and I had on Sunday before taking him back to the airport. Quick trip. Oh, which by the way, I don't think I responded. Zach texted me yesterday with the top 10 gas stations and Quick Trip. The Quick Trip with a K up here in Wisconsin and the Midwest, Minnesota as well. Number 1 gas station. Casey's did not make the top 10 list, which I'm disappointed because their breakfast pizza, that's number 1 breakfast for me. The Casey's breakfast pizza. Cooter says cleaning lady is here. The longer you go, the longer I can avoid the pre-clean. So boxers versus briefs while sorting. The pre-clean I hate the pre-clean, but they're done. It's like, hey, I can like get all my sort clean. WrestleMania 4, 88? I think WrestleMania, the original WrestleMania was 84 or maybe 85. So 88 or 89. Card hobbyist, Bojangles chicken biscuit with bow rounds. Oh, I don't know if I've ever had Bojangles. Down the line, if I set up at a card show, what makes a good card for dime or quarter boxes? That's a loaded question because sometimes I'll sell cards that it's like kind of like my eBay store. It's like, I just threw this up as a joke. Like, I wonder if anybody buys this. And then when somebody does, it's like, I can't believe somebody bought this. I'll put, I had a Bowman Chrome, like second Bowman Chrome, Adley Rushman in my 25-cent box, put it right out in front. Like, oh man, this is first person that sees this is going to buy it. Sat the whole day. Nobody bought it. So it's hit or miss. I get a lot of set builders. They're like, do you have any 81 tops? And I'm like, probably not. There might be 3. There's 50,000 cards on this table. There might be 3, and I don't know where they're at. So don't waste your time. Chicago is one of my favorite cities. 99% of attendees don't head into town. Totally agree. Like when I went last year, my friend that I stayed with went down. I think he's gone like in 19 and 21. went into the city. I'm trying to think. I think he went to White Sox games both years, and it's like, no, I'm just going to go back to the hotel and look at the cards that I bought. I have no interest in going to a White Sox game, taking the train, getting back at 1 a.m. and like I'm beat. Like I'm beat by the end of the day. I just want to go back to the hotel, have a few beers, dig through my cards, tweet my finds on Twitter, and go to sleep at 9:30, 10 o'clock, wake up early, and do it all again the next day. That's what happens when you reach older age. I'm not old, but I'm older than what I used to be. Let's see. John says, my wife fired the lawn guy. New guy headed in today. Tyson knocked out Spinks and AC, and it was all downhill. Hayden says, the card hobbyist knows what's up. John says, I remember my dad needing a sport coat for entry into the casinos in the late 70s. Wow. George wants to be John's lawn boy. Hey, I've got a neighbor would be a great lawn. Talk to my wife. I'm not on that committee. So I think that's what I had for today, which was nothing, just some random talking points. But I do want to get a video up. And I say that every morning. I say that I'm going to do a video today. I'm going to open that 89 Bowman pack. And guess what? I do. If I have, and I think I do, I'm going to open that damn 89 Bowman pack like right after I hit end stream. Heck no. I'm going to go up, get a second cup of coffee. Then I'm going to come back downstairs, open that damn 89 pack so I stop putting it off. And I'm going to force myself to do a listing video once I to my eBay listing today. Zach and Porter says, Quick Trip, God's gas station. I agree. I think I'm still partial to Casey's just because Casey's is what I grew up with. Quick Trip is just down the street from me. So I mean, I go there, but I think I'm still like partial to Casey's. And it's that pizza, it's that damn pizza coming back to Casey's. That so good breakfast pizza in the morning and that taco pizza at night. But I think that's the only thing that's the only reason I favor Casey's. I also, here's another thing. This is another sidebar. I tend to frequent the same gas stations, especially when I'm driving, when I'm on the road, because I know their gas station setup. I don't like going to strange gas stations because I'm unsure of their bathroom setup, whether it be cleanliness or availability, because sometimes you have to ask for a key and it comes like a freaking hubcap. It's like, here's the key to the gas station bathroom. So I know Casey's. I know their bathroom setup. I'm not familiar with Quick Trip setups because the only Quick Trips I go to are like the one down the street, so I don't need to use their bathroom. But if I'm out on the road and when I'm driving, there's not Quick Trips where usually when I'm driving on road trips, it's away from Quick Trips, like Casey's Land and whatever other gas stations there are set up. So that's where I stop. But if I go past the Belvedere Oasis, then I'm like, I don't know the gas stations from then on. So it's the comfortability of knowing the gas station bathroom layout. Let's see. Mark says, I'm on vacation, going to rip open a few 1984 Topps boxes. That's fun. Zach and Porter says, your anti-Quick Trip and national talk makes me more pro-Frank every day. Brothers Breakfast Pizza. I've never had that. I grew up in such a small town. We didn't even have a franchise gas station. I don't think we did. So the town I grew up in was 800 or 900, depending on which census. So now we have how many gas stations? 2. And I think there's always been 2 gas stations. And then a third is the FS, which is, I think it's farm service. That's like a credit card gas, like you have a credit card for their gas stations. And it's like always, there's no like convenience store. It's just the gas station. So you go and fill up. But when you're in a small town, like gas stations close at 10 p.m. So if you have 11, you're SOL. So, but if you have a FS fuel card, you can go swipe that card and get gas anytime you want, 24-hour stations. And I think they were like the Shell station, Phillips 66. And I think the one they actually, it was when I was growing up, my friend's parents owned it. And it was the Standard Oil, like full service gas station. And they had like, they change your tires and do that stuff, oil changes, stuff like that. But then they sold it. And then I think it closed, and then they just tore it all out and built a brand new Shell gas station with like a Subway. That was huge. When a Subway comes to a small town like that, that was big news. And then across the street, I think it's like just a local non-franchised gas station. Anyway, there's your education on gas stations in Anawan, Illinois. Let's see. It says Quick Check sausage biscuits was my go-to when I was younger and huskier. Cooter says Casey's just came into OKC market. Still haven't tried the pizza. Do it, please. Cooter, please. Tonight, have a Casey's pizza and report. Tweet about it. Dibs on the 84 Murphys. George says we had Junior Food Mart or JR Food Mart, Pearson's, Quick Stop, Key Stop, all individually owned. So we'll end it on the gas station talk. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Check out my interview with Ty Wilson. He interviewed me. Check it out on Bench Clear Media, just released yesterday. Always fun talking with those guys. I probably will not be on tomorrow morning. It just kind of depends on my trip plans, because if I do get everything in line to go to Baseball Card Exchange, we will probably I'll take off here early in the morning so I can get to my friend's house, and then because it's probably a 4-hour trip altogether, and then head down from there. So hopefully that's the case, because want to get this going. Card Hobbyist says, you know how a small town used to be if a gas station is prefixed by the word the, like the Shell station, right? Absolutely. Mark, thank you. I appreciate it. Love the chat. As always, have a great Friday and on Sunday mornings.